Special Citizen Set, all hands man your special citizen stations. Special Citizen Set, all hands man your special citizen stations.
All of station and join BDMS.
The Philippine seas bind the archipelago's 7,100 islands into one solid nation. They bridge the gap between local communities and connect the country to the rest of the world. These oceans are home to a wide array of marine resources, a generous source of livelihood, a wonderland for recreation, and a place for solace. Maintaining the peace and tranquility in these waters rests on the shoulders of the Philippine Coast Guard. We have committed to safeguard the seas so that the country's pristine waters and rich marine biodiversity are well kept for generations to see. With over 100 years of experience, the PCG is the oldest armed force dedicated to humanitarian service. Since its transfer from the Department of National Defense to the Department of Transportation and Communications, the Philippine Coast Guard has been serving the Filipino people through its 5 core functions. The Maritime Safety Function works towards getting seafarers to their destination safely. PCG's Maritime Safety Arm checks the seaworthiness of vessels that travel across the waters. Its vital presence in the country's various ports ensures unhampered traffic and conduct of business. This service has been essential to more than 1.6 million fishermen whose livelihood brings food to our tables. They are guided to safety every single day by the over 500 lighthouses the PCG operates nationwide. While Coast Guard's efforts have been geared towards prevention of maritime incidents, its capability to respond to such situations is just as strong. PCG's Maritime Search and Rescue function monitors activities at sea and ensures that should any untoward incident occur, the Coast Guard will be there in no time to assist and pull victims to safety. PCG's assets and skills have been invaluable in the conduct of several search and rescue operations throughout the years. From saving lives to keeping criminals at bay, the Philippine Coast Guard has been a crucial force. Its maritime law enforcement function seeks to prevent smuggling, piracy, illegal fishing, illegal entry, dangerous drugs, and other unlawful maritime activities. The Coast Guard is the first line of defense against forces that threaten the peaceful life in the archipelago. It also works to protect the country's sovereignty and preserve freedom of navigation within the Philippine territorial waters. This is PCG's Maritime Security Function. The Coast Guard conducts regular patrols and constant surveillance of the seas. Defending the territorial waters is as important as protecting and preserving the life within it. PCG's Marine Environmental Protection function bears this responsibility. The Coast Guard ensures that the country's environmental laws and regulations are strictly enforced, as it seeks to keep the Philippine waters and bays clean from oil spills and garbage. In fulfilling these functions, the PCG relies on its dedicated men and women manning the 12 regional districts, 72 stations, and 222 substations around the archipelago 24/7. Despite being a traditional armed service dominated by men, the Philippine Coast Guard recognizes gender equality among its personnel. Today, women Coast Guardians are given the same opportunities afforded to men. They command ships, fly aircraft, and lead rescue and law enforcement teams. The Philippine Coast Guard draws greater strength from the friendships and partnerships it made with local, national, and international organizations. It further enhances its capabilities through cross-trainings with the Asian Coast Guards and the U.S. Pacific Forces. In terms of local partnerships, PCG's force is multiplied by its civilian counterpart, the Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary. With 7,000 strong members, the PCGA supports the Coast Guard in implementing maritime safety, maritime search and rescue, marine environmental protection, and community relations. The PCG is also in partnership with other national government agencies in implementing the National Coast Watch System. This system employs advanced technology in improving the country's surveillance capabilities at sea. The breeze of modernization is starting to be felt at the Philippine Coast Guard. With the acquisition of new surface assets and aircrafts, with the development of bases in different districts, and with the efforts to upgrade the organization's search, rescue, environmental protection, and maritime law enforcement skills. More than a century since its activation, the Philippine Coast Guard has been a reliable protector of life and property at sea. It has extended its services to people on shore affected by various natural disasters. Time and again, the Philippine Coast Guard has proven that it is always ready to serve in challenging times, even under difficult circumstances. Ever vigilant, we stand fast, undaunted by danger, round the clock, through calm or rough seas. The Philippine Coast Guard will continue to keep watch so that Filipinos may live in peace and safety.